In these days happened, I stood in the operation theater and the leading surgeon of the department took a screw and he pressed it unfortunately through the isolation so it was no more sterile and the openers offered for the surgeon a new isolation and to make the hole sterile. But the leading surgeon refused it, and he took a screwdriver and pressed through the non-sterile wire until the bone, and it can cause serious osteomyelitis that the patient can suffer in his whole life. He was a young person, and it is not a thing that happens just one. Uh, this is happens more times. Maybe they are sweat through her OP clothes or the isolation went off. And sometimes it's hard to stop a surgeon who is full in move and he did already much. So it can be non-sterile and it is not about just the situation. In many clinics, people get an operation, people get a surgery because they have got indications that it is questionable if it's really necessary. But the hospital gets money after the surgery, and this is quite of game with the life of the patients as well. More times they get maybe injections or some other treatment because the clinic gets money for it. So it's an everyday situation, and it cannot. I don't think it is a good way to punish all quite the half of the doctors or more than the half of the doctors. Um, the behavior it's more deep, much more deep. It is about it's comfortable to do something if you are not punished, and if it doesn't hurt you, you feel you can hurt the other. It's about that, and it is very widespread in the society. And I feel it similar to the situation as my mother teach me her IDAS. She said I should tell others Mr. and Mrs. So I went to my same age persons and I told them Mr. and Mrs. and no one wanted to speak with me. So I was refused. I had no acquaintance. My mother never looked after what are the consequences of her IDAS. She tells me regularly to follow. And I think it is the same. It's a very comfortable way of life. You do what is comfortable for you, and you don't think what will be the consequence. And I get the same from women. They want to marry me, but they never ask me about my past. And I think about, okay, what it is for me, I can quite respect it, but what will they give for their children? They won't know what is inside their children, what makes them harm, what challenge for them. So they will do as my mother did, and she gave me much suffering. So it's a thing, and it's a thing that is very widespread in the society. And later she suffered of the consequences what she did, and in many families that is the case. But many times people avoid to look at in their own eyes what they did, even with their children, and it hit back, of course, as well. This was a small surgery, but the surgeon will get as well will need as well sometimes treatment, and they will be seen the same as he saw this patient. So he won't be treated better. So the people as well, if they treat you hard, they get the same. It's not better for them. As well, I think about what is a behavior. Earlier, so I was a very wished man. The most women thought I am like the best cake, or so they wanted to be with me. But at those times, as I was younger, I had no knowledge about what would I give for my children. I think about behavior patterns, and these behavior patterns, e.g., what my mother taught me, that is bad, that makes suffering for a child. And I didn't know at those times what kind of behavior patterns I would give for my children. And later, as I knew, then the women who could get children, they already don't like to speak with me in Europe. And I think about, yes, okay, then I help for people, but I don't have got surroundings that would help me. So, okay, then how people wish to have a good treatment, how they wish to have a help from others. If they don't help the persons, they make good. And as well, today I thought two women clothed in Halloween clothes. They were very sexy, but I thought about it. Okay, this is the man is young, then it is a big attraction. But if a man is already in the middle age, then maybe he wishes to get home that a woman understands her. And how will they learn it? It is not so easy. And if they don't learn it, then what will they give for their children? Probably they will give the same as what my mother gave for me. This man is suffering because she didn't understand me. So, and learning understanding is not easy. It means, for example, I got a letter from my acquaintance with the question, it was an X-ray text that I should translate for him, these medical sentences. And I thought about, okay, is it really about the medical sentences or he has got fear? And I thought maybe he has got fear. I should say him, okay, let calm. And he answered, yes, exactly, this was what I wish. I wanted to get calm. And there was nothing in his text about emotions, about he wants to get calm, he has got fear. This was my plus thinking. And this is exactly how you have to learn, okay, how to understand the other. You have to take point of views. So it's a challenging thing. And I think about there is the two women clothed very sexy, but as I knew the woman, they never asked me what is inside me, what makes me hard, what makes me challenging. And then it happens the same. They got the children. They give the children things, they will bother the children for a lifelong. They will make suffering. And I don't see the difference between surgeons. They operate because it's comfortable for them, even if they hurt the patients for a life. But no one punishes them. So I don't see the difference between them, between my mother, as it is comfortable for her, not think about the consequences, and as well it's the same as this woman wants partners, only young partners, and they won't learn how to understand their children because in this relationship is very hard, and there are other relationships when you can learn how to understand your children. So, and I don't see the difference. And it is as well, it's very widespread in the society, in the culture, that we do things if it doesn't hurt us and it's comfortable for us as we do, even if it hurts, even if it hurt others. And I think the only thing you can do um, to practice our ability, our basic ability, what made us human being, we are able to understand how something come into being. And the best way for it, if you sit yourself in the other person or in the other living creature, then you see around from his point of view, and then it is very hard to damage or destroy another living creature or another person if you know, okay, what does it feel? I felt the same as I sit I sat in his point of view. So it is what I can think. This is the best way to start practice our basic human ability. This is understanding how things come into being. And it is not just about that you feel the feelings of others. It is about as well you can see better through your challenges in life. You can make better decisions. It makes you a more stable life. It's maybe not the bad thing. I'd say so. Since a year, I live so that I work only 2 days in a week, and it's much more enough financially than what I need. And the way that helped me in this was the thinking. And I think the most people cannot afford for himself the same. So I think this is maybe many times what you wish. You have a comfortable life financially, and understanding helps you as well to have good relationships, to have good contacts. So I I stay for we could make a world better if we would practice understanding. Inside this site is about how to practice understanding. It is long forgotten. I stay for to reopen our ability. It sits in every children, in every person. Every one of us ask, what is that? Why is it so? Why is it so? How does something come into being? And we forget it. We should practice it, not forget it. We should practice it to make our world in a paradise.